Rees-Mogg, journalist who works with the political group Popular Conservatism and opposes the ban. Jennifer Powers, director of the Unplugged Coalition campaign group. You're glad, I gather, Jennifer, that YouTube is included.
Oh, hello, Jeremy.
Hi.
Yes, I do appreciate that there is educational and fun content on the platform, but on balance, I think that it's harmful to children. We know there's a lot of really indecent and potentially harmful content on there. And we also know that a lot of the features, the shorts, are really damaging for attention span and cognitive development. And we know that things like autoplay and the algorithms really trap children on the platform. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity for YouTube to innovate and to maybe add some of their very best content onto the YouTube Kids, which, as you say, is exempt. Nothing is permanent, and this is a wonderful opportunity for them to create a better, safer product.
Annunziata Rees-Mogg, why do you think it's okay for children to stay on YouTube as it is now?
Because we have parental controls and we can use them. There's Family Link, whereby parents can oversee exactly what their children can do. And that's what parents have the duty to do, to be responsible for their children. But my daughter, who's 15, exclusively uses YouTube for her GCSEs, which her teachers, as you have mentioned, tell her to, and her homework might be to watch a YouTube video that is not on kids, which is much, much younger children and not educational. And the idea the government can go through video by video and go, that's on brass rubbing, that's okay, that's on brass rubbing, that actually is all of nudes.
I should never have mentioned brass rubbing.
Okay. I used to go brass rubbing. It's been banned by Westminster Abbey.
Oh, Lord. But it is a classic example of what old people think young people will enjoy, and young people kind of know they won't, Jennifer. And that's the thing, isn't it? Where a lot of us, meaning people over the age of 30, let's say, are trying to impose our childhoods on young people.
Well, what we're really trying to do is reclaim childhood from addictive technology. And listen, when the world changes, we have to decide whether to accept it or what guardrails we need to put in to protect children. And I do agree with Annunziata that there is a role for parents to play. But we have to take the world as it is. And we know that while she may be excellent at supporting her child and using parental controls, that's not the case for the vast majority of parents, as much as we may want it to be. And so my view is we have to protect children. This is an evolving space. The technology has really only been around for about 15 years in terms of this persuasive tech universe. And it's great news that the government is catching up to where most parents and educators are. Which is, we need to put some boundaries.
I heard you break it in, yeah.
This proposal actually takes away parental controls, and that is incredibly damaging.
Well, some parents can't control it. That's the point. Not every parent is brilliant.
Some parents can't teach their children to cross a road safely.
Yeah,
that's
right.
not brilliant. On my bookshelves, I have Lady Chatterley's Lover and American Psycho. Do I want my children reading them aged 8? No, of course I don't. So I make sure they're not in sight and not available. And I do the same with the internet. That is our role, not to ban it for everyone.
But hang on, you may be, and I don't want to be sort of spare your blushes here. You may be a very good mum. Other people are not so good.
I'm in the vast majority of parents who take responsibility for their children.
Jennifer?
And should. That is a parent's job.
Well, that's great. And I would love to live in a world where all parents were able and willing to set these very intricate parental controls, which the tech companies have created. But, I agree with Jeremy. Your children are incredibly lucky and fortunate. But I have to, where I come from is to be ambitious for all kids. And the reality is that in so many cases, we know that 90%
ability to learn doesn't do that.
Sorry, Annunziata, I'm just going to finish my point quickly.
I'll come back to you, I promise. Jennifer.
Sorry, lost my train of thought slightly. Look, I'm ambitious for all children, and therefore we need to put in some guardrails. And I do appreciate that some educational or amusing content may be lost in the interim. Although I think overall it will be there will be innovation in the sector, and some of that material will be involved in other ways. Two really quick things to say. First of all, 90% of parents want help. it's not a fair fight between an 8 or a 10 or a 12-year-old and all the most powerful algorithms in the world. So that's the first thing to say.
But as Annunziata says, the parent is on the child's side, and then it becomes fairer.
Well, yeah, okay, fine, but really, most parents, and I wish this weren't the case, but look, I speak to parents every day and give talks across the country. Most parents struggle with parental controls, and I'm in awe of Annunziata and others who can work them well. But the reality is that most parents can't, and therefore we need to do what's best to protect children. And I'm afraid most of the content online is not educational. A lot of it is very harmful.
Annunziata, I know you want to come back, but I just want to play you this clip again, which is becoming one of these defining clips that you hear once in a decade. And this was actually Zoe Kleiman, the reporter we had in. It was in her piece on the 10 o'clock news last night. And it's where this young schoolgirl, and I'm not sure what age she is, but she's under 16 for sure, is talking about how long she spent on her phone over the weekend.
Earlier we looked at screen time. What was your screen time over the weekend?
9 hours.
9 hours. So suddenly you're going to have a lot more time to fill. And what will you do?
Stare at a wall.
Stare at a wall. Okay.
What's your reaction to that, Annunziata?
That girl, if you watch the whole interview, she was really impressive. She was being interviewed on live national television, and she gave her reasons calmly, clearly, and with confidence. And actually, I think is a very good example of a responsible teenager. It was clearly her joking that she was going to do nothing but... No, but she had an American accent, and she made clear that a lot of her time was speaking to her friends and family at home. And why should anyone stop her doing that on whichever platform she chooses or they choose to do that? Because obviously foreign countries won't have the same bans. But if we look at what's been going on in Australia, this is utterly pointless anyway. The e-safety commissioner admits that well over 50% of children have found a way around this, that this has sent them to darker corners of the web that are not regulated, which is what we all want to avoid, that it's got rid of the parental controls that did limit what children could see. The blanket ban hasn't been working, but really worryingly, it's the vulnerable children, the most marginalised, that are finding their social life so impacted, their connection with other people, which is why both the charities for blind children and deaf children in this country have opposed this ban.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Annunziata Rees-Mogg, journalist who works with the political group Popular Conservatism, opposes the ban. Jennifer Powers wants it. She's director of the Unplugged Coalition campaign group. Now we need to hear what you think.